My name is Jake, and this is my friend Isaac. I'd like to think we're fairly athletic guys. Our first summer ever playing pickleball, we actually won a 3.5 tournament, but that was 4 years ago, and we haven't gotten much better since then. And that's because, like most pickleball players, we've never ever practiced. But that ends today. The PPA is coming to our hometown of Kansas City this August. And over the course of the next 4 weeks, we're gonna be training in pickleball for the first time ever in an attempt to prove our haters wrong and win gold in 4.0 men's doubles. Come along and join us for the journey of the road to 4.0 gold. It starts today. Lesson number 1. Isaac and I brought in 2 of the best pickleball players in all of Kansas City.
We're with TJ. You might remember him from our wooden paddle video back in the day. We're gonna talk about serves, returns, and we're gonna talk about one shot that is the most overlooked shot in pickleball.
Oh, yeah.
So what's going through your head when you're about to hit a serve?
Do you want to answer? Because I got nothing.
What do you think is the most important thing about a serve?
I would say depth.
Wow.
Bang, we're on the same wavelength.
Already acing. Aced him. You're correct. First, most important thing is depth. You always want to, if you can try to hit it within the last 3 feet of the court, that's a great serve. Number 2 is probably gonna be pace.
Yeah, the way that we get pace is by using a lever at either our elbow or our wrist or both. A lot of people serve with just their shoulder, and that's our lever, and that creates no pace. So we wanna get that whipping motion using our elbow and our wrist.
Yeah, how many times have you seen someone serve a pickleball like this?
Oh, most older women.
My grandma. Shovel serve. Yeah, shovel serve. So that's a common serve. And without even moving my shoulder, I can hit a pretty hard serve just using my wrist and my elbow. And so
Are the arm sleeves required? Is that why you do this?
We're missing some more weight, apparently.
It's like a black belt, except it's like a 5.0 plus thing.
It's like a black belt.
So incorporating the wrist sort of whipping motion is what's gonna add to our power and spin on these shots.
Should we hit some serves?
Should we hit some and you guys correct our levers?
Yes.
Layup lines, guys.
Yeah,
layup
lines, here we go.
So yeah, Jake hit like...
Let's go 2 serves apiece.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's like
so
free
hit a
throws.
couple.
Do you guys recommend like a closed stance or the open stance?
That's gonna be personal preference. Your open stance tends to have more control, and your closed stance tends to have more power. The closed stance, there's a lot more energy to be created here with the closed stance. So.
Great.
Okay.
Close it off.
Let's close it
So I'd
off.
say first thing, try and focus on depth, and then we can work on getting pace.
My levers.
Yeah.
Great. Okay.
Good pace.
bad.
A little more depth.
No, not very good depth.
Too much
It's
depth.
3 feet out, too much depth.
Good.
There you go. That's
We're getting good whipping motion, which is fantastic. So now that we've already kind of checked that off, we can start adding more of a coil and uncoil of the entire body.
Ooh, that's fun.
Uncoil, coil, uncoil.
Yeah, coil. Coil it up. Here you go. Let's see some coil.
So how do I, okay.
So, yep.
All right.
Coil it. Oh, that was pretty nasty.
Is that how you coil and uncoil?
Yes. Use the hips. Yeah,
That's
that's
perfect.
fantastic.
That's about as good as it gets right there.
I think I just need a ton of reps doing that because I would not feel confident going into like a tournament or whatever and just being like, you know what, I'm gonna hit it as hard as I can.
That's what I was gonna say is you need to be serving the same every single point,
Yeah.
no matter the score. And almost going bigger on the big points.
Really?
Okay.
Because the best players, they don't get tight on the big points, they actually start to hit bigger when the moment gets bigger. It's like that in any
Rise to
sport,
the
right?
occasion. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
It's their mentality.
Yeah.
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 Here you go, Jake.
Makes sense.
Give us a couple coils.
Coil.
Nice.
It's really good.
Bang. Bang.
Coffin corner.
Coffin corner.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Okay, one more thing on the serve. I am a big fan of serving deep down the middle. A lot of people say, oh, you should serve to their backhand if their backhand's bad. I think that's bad advice most of the time because the spot to hit to serve to somebody's backhand is so small that that's where service errors come in. But if you're serving to somebody's feet right down the middle, you're forcing them to move to hit the shot.
Yeah.
Whereas if you serve it to either side, that's already in their strike zone. They don't have to move their feet at all to hit
That's
the
a great
return.
point.
So I like big.
So
big
you recommend
down the middle.
serving it just at them, basically.
right at
Make
them.
them choose a
Exactly, yeah.
shot.
Yep.
That's a good point. I didn't even think about that. So yeah, not middle of the court, middle of the box at the person where they're standing. Moving on to return of serve. What do you think is the most important thing about a return of serve?
Depth.
Wow. I'll ask you a question eventually, and the answer will not be depth. One thing I know specifically for you, Jake, is you like to generally put slice spin on your return.
It's easier for me to get the ball in, but if I'm playing someone like you guys, I wouldn't want to give you free topspin.
Yeah.
But I think if you're at the 4-0 level, you could probably slice it. TJ, how do you return serves?
I've switched to a flat return. Once my level reached a certain spot, as far as opponents, like we were saying, that slice return just doesn't work anymore, and you get crushed by that third shot. And so I hit everything flat now.
Flat meaning?
Flat meaning no
Like your
topspin,
stroke
no
is
backspin.
flat.
I'm hitting it as flat as I can,
Just like a
to
knuckle.
give them nothing. Yeah. Maybe even some topspin,
Yeah.
just to keep it as flat as possible going over the net. And honestly, I'm not even super worried about hitting it hard. I'm only focused on depth.
I would say if you hit it too hard, then it's harder for you to get to the kitchen in time.
Exactly.
Right?
You want to give yourself time to get in. And so part of that is hitting with forward momentum so that you can move in time. And part of that is sometimes it's okay to hit a floating return as long as it's deep. If it's a floating return short in the court, then you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Where would you say your starting point is when you're returning a serve? How far back are you from the baseline?
I'm about one step back from the baseline. So I'm about right here. One big step back, maybe a step and a half, and I'm one step over towards my left so that I can prioritize my forehand return.
When you're the returning team, your whole goal is preventing them from getting to the kitchen line, and that starts immediately with your return. Sometimes if you hit a good return, maybe they won't even hit a good third, you'll get, points over. But otherwise you might get a higher ball for your fourth, higher ball for your sixth. And everything that you're doing is trying to keep them off the kitchen line.
Yeah, we have the advantage to start the point. You have to remember that when you're returning, so keep the advantage as much as you can.
Should we practice hitting some flat returns?
Yeah.
You guys
So
just
we'll have
correct
to
us.
Make it very beginner-esque right there.
Yeah. It's good.
It's a little backspin on that.
Sorry, Dad.
Home run, son.
That's an ace.
I feel like this is much further forward than I'm used to standing for a serve.
Really?
So maybe I'm in a poor position most of the time.
Yeah, maybe.
You guys I heard you say you like to get the serve when it's still rising?
Yeah.
Really?
Because I want as much forward momentum as possible. And if I'm letting the serve drop, that means I'm probably going to be hitting it from here.
Yeah.
And I'm in a really tough bind to get all the way to the kitchen line in time.
That's actually a really good tip. I think I've been doing that wrong for 4 years.
All right, one more, then we'll switch.
That's it.
Nice,
Forward
there it
momentum.
You all right?
Yeah, I'm good.
You
so
hurt
what
yourself?
I think I just pinched a nerve.
Uh-oh.
Oh. This is why I don't drill, folks. Dangerous.
I'm going to hit an example return.
I feel like I'm really trying to do the flat thing.
So,
We should probably be following through to the kitchen, huh?
yeah, you should follow
Just to
through.
get used to that.
Just to, because it's such an abbreviated motion without doing that.
Yeah.
But it's such a simple motion. Just use your athleticism to get the momentum forward. Yeah, it's less arm and more the entire body moving together. Good.
Nice.
It's really good.
The third tip we're gonna give you today, the most overlooked shot in pickleball, is the fourth shot. So the first thing that I guess, cue that you wanna have is you wanna take as much out of the air as possible. Because that takes away time from your opponents and it allows you to be more aggressive with your shot. So that's gonna be either a backhand roll volley, a forehand roll volley. Those are the two main shots you're gonna be hitting in that situation. Situation number two is if they hit an okay drop where it's gonna bounce. You can't quite take it out of the air, but you can still be aggressive with your fourth. Then you can let the ball bounce, take a step back, be aggressive. Or third scenario is they hit a great drop and you have to concede the kitchen to your opponent.
That's definitely if your opponents are hitting a drop shot. If they're driving their third at you, which is getting more and more common in pickleball, it's gonna be more of like a tennis style volley, like a punch volley. That's a much safer fourth shot to hit, to where you can still keep them back, but there's not too much movement here. So Scott's spot on. If they're hitting a drop that's not quite down at your feet, I'd go for the roll volley, but you're gonna see more and more fourth shots off of their drives.
Yeah.
So I would say that punch volley is also something we're gonna work on.
You can feed us a ball and we'll either drive or drop one. And then you guys kind of make the decision. Like if we hit a drop, you got to make a decision of whether you're going to try and take it out of the air let it bounce, or concede the kitchen line.
Should we just do one ball so that it's not
Yeah,
confusing
for
to watch?
sure.
Okay.
And our main priorities, if it's a drop, try to get out of the air. I mean, basically just keep you guys from getting to the kitchen.
Yeah.
Is the priority, right?
Yeah, catch the ball at its apex, whatever that looks like, at its highest point. If we drop it and its apex is off the bounce, let it bounce and hit it as high as you can. Yeah, at its highest point.
Oh, good serve, TJ. Oh, good return, Isaac.
Good.
Not getting to this kitchen. Not today.
Yeah.
And that's how you win 4.0.
It's that easy.
Jeez.
Punish him.
Would you say that is the recommended spot? Like you're at the kitchen, Scott is not.
Yeah.
Hit it to the guy back there.
You want to get it to him, yeah. And you did a great job of keeping it far enough over to where I couldn't poach it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because I still have to respect the line. Scott hit a good drop, but it wasn't
Perfect.
Wasn't perfect.
Yeah.
Is that not?
Is that good?
Not good? It's so sunny. Oh my gosh.
Good.
Good.
That's how it's done.
Contact in the middle. Got it.
Oh, middle of the paddle, got it.
Got it.
Nice. Nice. Good.
I think just after doing this 5 times, my main takeaway is that I should be almost like falling in.
Yes.
Like to make it so hard for you guys to get something in there.
100%. You have all the advantage in the world if you're all the way up on that line. As soon as you take a half step back, which a lot of people do when they're afraid of the ball, you give away all that space to hit into.
Concede that kick.
Good.
I conceded. I concede.
Conceded.
I submit to you.
That was a good fourth.
Yeah, sometimes you have to hit it with both paddles. Hey, let's just play a little point. Hey,
Out!
way out.
Wanted to hit it. All right, there you go. That's a drill you can do with your buddies. Great practice for fourths, thirds, and then obviously you can play out the point.
That really is. That felt very helpful, and I feel like it got better.
Great.
Thanks, Scott. Thank you, TJ.
Thanks, TJ. Scott.
Stay tuned for
Yeah, we'll be back next week, whatever day of the week this got uploaded on. I don't have to tell you guys, you know if it's Tuesday or Wednesday. So we'll see you that time next week. And as always, we'll still see you Friday for our regular videos where you can win a free paddle. So make sure you're subscribed. See you guys.
Peace. Yeah.